It's cheaper to find a third-party mechanic anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I can.
Did you print your stuff out for the bookkeeper?
Yes.
Okay. All right, it is 11:31 and we are here for a meeting with the ambulance district regarding the bookkeeper. This is a meeting that we continued from last week. So we'll turn over to our chief.
So in between last week and today, or yesterday, our new attorney, William Unkenny, get his name right, has gone back and forth with the bookkeeper on the contract. I did receive a copy of the contract last night, and it was approved by both our legal and the bookkeeper, Jennifer Wyman. So at this point, all parties are in agreement. I did send that contract earlier. It wasn't a lot earlier, but it was today. So that's kind of where we're at.
And so to confirm, Chief, we have had the new attorney, Bill?
Punkany. I want to say Punkony, but that's
I want to say Bill.
my southern drawing it out. Punkany.
He reviewed the contract, and one of his comments was he wanted to confirm that she indeed had insurance, and we did cross that off. So
Correct.
he didn't have an issue with the contract as stated. We have auditing who was agreeable to the ability, the service that she says she can provide meets the needs based on what they're working on, and that we wouldn't make a transition until July, but the setup fee has to do with her having to interface with our auditing department. And you've confirmed that your budget can absorb the $1,200 a month fee as
Yes.
we move forward.
Yes, and when we look at, and the reason I say is because in looking around at other people that offer the same services, significantly higher than what we are being offered here. So that's huge when it comes to, I mean, we haven't paid yet, but it's cost savings already because we're not paying what the other folks in the area are charging, so.
And we'll maintain doing the audit the way we have done it historically in Bonner County and at this time.
That's a great question. Yes, that is what kind of, I think everybody seems to agree with, just continue the way it's been going.
Okay. All right. Any questions from the board on this time?
Yes, so it was discussed in the last meeting, I believe it was Commissioner Williams that brought it up, where it says payments are due on the first of the month.
Yep.
And there was discussion on a 5-day grace period or something.
No, she, in her new contract, she covers that.
Okay.
It is a month, 30 days.
Number 2 there?
Do you have a copy of the new contract? They
I
did a
thought
new
this was
contract.
the new contract.
I lost my computer in some of these rooms
I
that I
will
was
find
in,
it.
so.
Yeah, the one on Google Drive in the folder does not appear to have new language under compensation.
Right.
I thought she gave a 30-day grace period.
She did, and
Yeah, I don't see
0.075, I think, percent, if it's not paid in 30 days.
I don't think we have the updated version in the Google Drive folder.
And I'm standing here just glossed over, looking to see if I can find it.
Let me track what rooms I was in. I realized I came here with nothing.
wait.
running from one. There might, I think there's another
There's
document.
a new
in
version
it.
that just showed up in the folder. Okay,
Magic.
I'm sorry. When I say,
Someone's
let
watching.
me clarify. When I say just, within the last hour, which for me is just,
Just,
because more than an hour
So
ago I
this-
opened the document, so.
This morning, he emailed the new contract.
I know it's
Sorry, I
in
usually
there.
bring my computer, but
I know I read it.
See, I did my work too far in advance. I opened it more than an hour ago and it's been updated.
Can't
so-
win, can you?
I'm just looking for a header that says late fees. That might be not.
If you do Control F and say late fees, it should pop you to where that sentence is in the document.
You're lost, huh?
Well, I lost my
I would
computer.
say she needs something.
I usually have my computer so I don't have to ask. I saw the new
Okay.
contract. It was because I was sitting here with you guys and then Kevin came and said, I need you to look at this. And then I went over to the clerk's office.
Late fees are not coming up.
Okay, let me go find my computer.
Let me just do fee.
Or payment.
Sorry, guys, my facial expressions are because I have a migraine, not because of this situation. Increases. Fees.
Chief Lindsay, didn't you send it by email?
Mm-hmm. I attached it to whatever I got this morning.
Yes, so I believe that's where I looked at it.
It'll start at the top.
She says, it actually might have not got added in there. I think we might have caught this.
I don't see it.
Oh, you know what? It's on the engagement letter. Because that was separate from the contract.
Does the contract reference the engagement?
It says bill at the end of each month. Invoices not paid within 30 days are subject to 1.5 monthly interest fee. So would we add that just into the
Contract.
contract?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we would need the
That
contract
gives
to
us a
reference
30-day
it.
grace period, per se.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because she's of the understanding, but it's just not, it's in her engagement letter, but not in the contract. So I knew I saw it somewhere. I apologize.
I think we either need to have the contract reference the engagement letter as an attachment, or just amend the contract to include the language. Because I don't think the contract references the engagement.
No, it doesn't. That's why I was going cross-eyed. It's in her engagement letter, which I thought I had.
Yeah.
Do y'all get the BOCC agenda submittal? No, what do you? I'll just send it to you.
What does your Exhibit A scope of work attached?
That's what I'm sending you now.
When you say, are you emailing it?
Yep.
Exhibit A was included during last week's meeting. Go back to that one, maybe.
So I believe
You're gonna have to share with a classmate. Or you can probably borrow one of the board members.
should just bring it in just so it looks good.
I guess in lieu of doing it like this.
No, so we can fix this by adding the language to
Just into
that.
the contract?
So did you email okay.
No
That's her
subject email.
That's the scope of work that she sent us. She just
Well-
amended it with the new,
So the scope of work addresses the 30 days.
yes.
So the scope of work is mentioned in this contract. So I think that let me see where.
As
the line-
Exhibit A, it says scope of work.
Yeah, it says the contractor agrees to provide bookkeeping and payroll services to the district as described in Exhibit A, scope of work. And in Exhibit A, scope of work, she gives the 30 days.
30-day, 1.5% if later.
And so that,
You found Exhibit A?
well, she defines it as scope of work.
I just sent it to you, Commissioner, and via email.
Okay, it just doesn't use the word scope of work or Exhibit A on the document. I'm just trying to figure out how we define what Exhibit A scope of work is if those terms aren't included on the document.
Well, you can put those,
We can attach it.
I'll fix it. So what we can do is, Jennifer, I'm printing this document. Can you get it and make 2 copies of it? So we will identify the document dated April 8th, 2025. She defines this document as, to ensure complete understanding between us, this letter will describe the terms and objectives of our engagement and nature and limitations of services I provide. So we will call this scope of work because that's what she says it on the next bullet, services outside the scope of this letter. So she's identifying it as the scope. So
And when me and her talk on the phone, I don't know if this helps, but that's what we refer to it as, is the scope of work. But
I think the intent's clear. It's just always better when the actual terminology is consistently used in formal documents. But I think we can resolve it.
So when it'll get cleared up by,
Yeah, I see that's where the 30-day. So we have 30 days to pay before incurring interest fees.
correct. And that goes above and beyond. We originally were talking like 10 or 15 days.
No, that's
So
very
she-
reasonable.
so what I'd ask that we do is that I wrote Exhibit A scope of work. I put 1 of 2, 2 of 2 on our letter. So we can make a motion to decide whether or not to accept the contract identifying this. And if she signs it, she's agreeing that she's considering this her scope of work, and that will solve the problem of the identification of the
Okay.
document. Any further questions from the board?
The only other question I have, Chief, is
Yep.
something I've brought up in the past. We are the Bonner County Ambulance Service District, DBA Bonner County EMS. And on here it says Bonner County Ambulance District.
Where at?
In the square, right below where it says district, and then on the other, to the right of it, says contract.
Oh, on the contract.
Page 2. I just think that we should use our legal name or.
I can go
DBA
through
name.
and amend and correct that.
It is a contract.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Okay, I can
All right.
do that.
Anything from you, Commissioner
Agreed.
Domke?
And I was just verifying, now that I have the new contract. So we had communicated previously about being sure that we had the ability to terminate, which we do under 6A. 6A and 6B. And Mr. Wilson had included certifications regarding China, Israel, and abortion providers. That has been added, as well as the ability to define through negotiation any fee or compensation increases. So those were the things I had on my list to confirm that we had addressed from prior review of the contract. So those all appear to be in order, included. So I'm good noting the 2 items that Commissioner Corn mentioned.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Let's see. Based on the information before us, I move to enter into an agreement with Jennifer R. Wyman LLC for bookkeeping and payroll services beginning July 1st, 2025, at a rate of $1,200 per month with a one-time $600 setup fee.
Second?
There's a motion and a second. Any questions from the public? Deliberation by the board?
None.
I'll just go for a clear on record that the Chief Lindsay will address the name of the ambulance district on the document and then have Jennifer sign noting that she's agreeing that the document that we have labeled as scope of work is scope of work, and that she will, so that we're having a clear understanding. With that, roll call vote.
Commissioner Duffy?
Yes.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes,
Commissioner Clark?
Yes?
motion passes. It is 11:47 and this meeting is adjourned.
Thanks.